What are we waiting for? Let's do this. I was watching some Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous the other day on Netflix. Firstly, no judgment until you've watched it. Yes, it is a cartoon, but it is so good. And when you get to the end of an episode, Netflix offers you 5 seconds to make your decision to wait to see if you want to watch the next episode or not. Obviously I did, because I want to know what happens. And at the moment I'm flicking between that and watching Mandalorian on Disney+. And when you finish an episode on Disney+, up comes the credits and it gives you 30-second countdown before you watch the next episode. And I was sat there thinking, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Why on earth would I want to wait 30 seconds before deciding to watch another episode? Of course I do. And after watching Netflix, it felt like forever. And it got me thinking, we want everything now. And we live in a world that wants things immediately. But more than that, we live in a world that can get things immediately. And when we have to wait, we don't love it. But we're prepared to wait until we have to and no further. The fact that I stay up till 4 a.m. to finish a season of a programme that I love watching is because I live in a world that offers a why wait when you can finish it all right now. And then that brings me to the question, with all the suffering and all the brokenness in the world, if God is as all-powerful as us Christians say he is, why doesn't he fix our problems now? Why doesn't he just stop the coronavirus? Why doesn't he heal my grandma or help me with this or that? Whatever it is right now that brings you to the point of asking that question, why doesn't God fix my problems now? And I want to start by saying that I don't have all the answers. If you don't believe in God and you've stumbled across this video, then I encourage you to watch some of our other stuff first before watching this one, because it will help you have more of an understanding, because we cannot answer all of those big questions in a single video. The easy answer is that he can, but he doesn't always do so. And before you turn off the video and think, I'm not happy or satisfied with that answer, it is very complex. And it's important for us to explore some of that complexity in this video now. As a Christian, I do not live a perfectly simple life. I still have huge problems, family fallouts, heartbreak, still suffering and struggling with things that I don't want to. I face trouble. In fact, the Bible is clear that I will face trouble, and it is flipping difficult at times. But I do believe in a good God who is kind and loving. And whilst he doesn't always fix my problems now, what he does give me is hope and reassurance that one day all my problems will be fixed. God knows the world isn't the way it's supposed to be. He hates it when we suffer. That is the whole reason why he sent his son to earth to save us. When you put your trust in Jesus, you put your trust in him not only for this life, but as the Bible says, we will be with God for eternity. So when we die, we will be with God forever. But that answer isn't always enough for us. We want things now on earth, in reality. But for me as a Christian, the hope of heaven is a reality that has an impact on my life on earth. But for you, if you're asking that bigger question of why wait, why not fix the problems of Ben Cutting now? Because I'm going to be in heaven with God forever anyway. And there's 2 reasons for this. The first is that this life matters to God. Who we are and what we do matters to the God that as a Christian I believe created us. The only way I can try to understand more of God is to understand that God is a God of love. He absolutely loves me, and he absolutely loves you. And because of that, he wants us to depend on him. And because we've all turned away from God and pushed him away, we don't depend on him at all. But when we become Christians, God changes our hearts and slowly and steadily reveals in us the wrong things that we do and begins to change us. And so when we face problems, God uses them to bring about the best in us and a love and dependency on him. And the second reason is that we have the greatest gift now. A guy called Ray Ortlund, who writes loads of books and is way more intelligent than I will ever be, wrote some stuff on this. And his main point is that life is immensely difficult, as we all know. And God gives us lots of promises and loves us, but then he calls us to wait till they happen. He doesn't give us everything right away. And in the now culture we live in, that in itself is really difficult to understand. And the waiting can be hard. Sometimes it seems impossible to go through it. You may be facing things right now that seem overwhelming and too much. And I know what that is like. I've been there. And it feels like we are stuck. And in those moments, a good God who loves us seems the opposite of what we are dealing with. But God's greatest gift is not always what you think. God's greatest gift isn't the thing that we're after, it is the giver of the gift. It is himself. And he does give us himself right now. His own reality, his presence, his nearness, and his smile. The Bible says that the Lord is near to the brokenhearted, and the Lord is near to those who call upon his name. This is not something we have to settle for. It isn't a consolation prize. There is nothing greater in all this world. We don't understand how God draws near and we can't control him, but this is real and it's incredible. As we stumble forward, God's real presence gives us strength to wait without self-pity, but with joy. So right now, whatever you are facing, the loss of a loved one, the sickness that is terrifying your family, the continued lockdown, the broken friendships, heartache of relationships, messing up your exams, insert what you are going through now here. Whatever it is, the God who created the world and created you is close to you and is inviting you into closeness with him. And that is a reality that we can all understand right now.